They have preferred the pastimes and conveniences of the world over God. They have become extremely desirous over the temporary pastimes and luxuries of the world. And with this they have become selfish, proud, and self-conceited, and they are captive to these enjoyments of the world. In matters of faith they are slack and are the defeated people, and they are very active and clever in trying to attain their dirty desires. He continues that they are bonded to their desires. They have forgotten both their people and their faith. That is, they do not care for the people or their religion. They do not take care of the people properly. They consider the national treasury as a personal inheritance from their ancestors, and so they do not spend on the people as if they were required to be cautious in this regard. And they assume that they will not be held accountable for this, nor will they return to the Lord one day. So their time of engulfed in this wealth passes by in complete ignorance like a nightmare. He says that if you become aware of their actions, your hair will stand on end and you will become astonished. So ponder, do these people strengthen and support the faith? Do these people guide the misguided or provide treatment to the blind? This is a state of the rulers or the kings, but as I said, to try and defeat the mission of the promised Messiah, peace be upon him, in Africa, they make efforts. Although they may not even spend 1,000th of their wealth, they offer only a minute amount. They have a massive amount of wealth, that is the wealth of oil. But they send their missionaries to oppose the promised Messiah, peace be upon his mission, although they did not consider sending their missionaries before, although they are active for sending for this purpose. Further, the promised Messiah ﷺ states that what connection do they have with the commandments of the Islamic Sharia? Rather, they want to free themselves from their restricted lifestyle and instead live with complete freedom. The strength of the believers is not found in them. Where is the condition of the righteous and abstaining hearts, whose way is that of truth and justice? In fact, the throne of power today is bereft of these qualities. These people say that Khilafahs will be established amongst us. They strive to establish it. The ulama put forward one name or the other, but anyhow, he says, their hearts are bereft of these qualities, and this is why Khilafat cannot be established amongst them. They do not consider the conditions of the Muslims have become static. Its lights have gone out, and their prophets is being insulted. His truthful teachings are being deemed wrong. In fact, they have become stubborn in terms of how they trespass the numerous prohibitions of Allah. With great boldness, they fulfill their desires in forbidden areas. In other words, they act shamelessly in a way that Allah has forbidden. He states further that they spend their lives day and night engrossed in the enjoyments of the world. So how will such people be helped by God when they act sinfully? In fact, these negligent kings who desire only worldly enjoyments, they are actually a great punishment from Allah for the Muslims. That is, their existence is a punishment for the Muslims. They are like worthless insects who have been totally debased. They do not utilize their strength for the people of God. They have become like crippled camels. They do not stride like galloping horses. This is why they are not helped by the heavens. This is why they are not helped by the heavens, and also why, in the eyes of the disbelievers, there is no fear of them anymore. As is the characteristic of such people, they run away from disbelievers like a donkey runs away from a lion. And to fight with them, 2 disbelievers are sufficient to overcome 2,000 of them. He states that having adopted such falsehood and misguidance, why would God help them? Because God does not change His eternal way. His way is that Allah does help the righteous people, but does not ever help those who commit vices. This is why the Christian kings are capturing land and government and being supported. And they go on pressurizing or suppressing every state. You can observe today as well that if not apparently, then practically, the Muslim kings and Muslim countries are in the hands of the non-Muslims. Their economies are in the hands of other people. So he says that Allah has not supported them, not because He is not merciful towards them. In other words, the help given to the non-Muslims and the terrible condition of the Muslims is not because Allah is greatly favoring the non-Muslims. It is in fact because Allah's wrath descends upon the Muslims. If only Muslims knew. So this was the promised Messiah.